Today's episode of Chicago Bears Now is sponsored by RexMD. If you go to rexmd.com/chat, you can get 90% off Cialis, Viagra. If you're struggling in the bedroom downstairs, if you have issues when you have a couple too many drinks, to get into full drive mode, then hey, RexMD going to help you out, and they'll deliver straight to your doorstep. It can be handled all online. RexMD.com/chat. All right, let's get to the news of the day. An injury update for Eddie Jackson. The report is that Jackson has suffered a significant Lisfranc foot injury. That report coming in from Mike Garafolo and Ian Rappaport. Garafolo tweeting this out just earlier this morning, saying it appears to be a significant injury for Eddie Jackson. Sources tell him and Ian Rappaport. Jackson is still receiving opinions on his foot, but he is considered out indefinitely. Another tough loss for Chicago. And obviously, when you suffer a non-contact injury, you assume it's pretty bad. I would say this is better than an Achilles injury, but I don't expect Jackson to return this year. Now, here's the Lisfranc injury definition, by medical experts. Lisfranc midfoot injuries result if bones in the midfoot are broken or ligaments that support the midfoot are torn. The severity of a Lisfranc injury can vary widely, from a simple injury involving one midfoot joint to a complex injury involving many midfoot joints and broken bones, hence probably why he's getting more evaluation. So let me first say this. Jackson will not return this year. On the short end, you're usually looking at 6 weeks here. You got about 6 weeks left in the season. I mean, if he could return for Week 18, what's really the point? I think he'll be put on season-ending injured reserve. I think that's the smart decision, and I just don't think he'll be back healthy in time whatsoever. Now, talking about the wide variances here, we'll explore this for a second. So, doing research and having seen these injuries in the past, you think of like Kevin Durant in the NBA, he missed a lot of time. On average, you're usually looking at like 8 to 12 weeks. So that's not bad, right? If he needs a little procedure, cool. He can be back for the bulk of the offseason program. Hopefully it doesn't linger beyond that. He's only 28. He'll be 29 next month. I think he's still going to be in a good position to be back on this team next year and play at a high level. So that's the good news. I think this is better than an Achilles injury, which I know some people were worried about. So I think there are positives in the big picture when it comes to Eddie Jackson. Now, show number 4 some love. Type 4 in the comments. Eddie Jackson's been a warrior for this team this year. It was a frustrating 2020 and 2021 for him, and quite frankly for us to watch him play the way he did. He was not good. He missed a bunch of tackles. At times he didn't look inspired, but this new team, this new coaching staff seemed to kind of light a fire into him, and, he was rewarded by being named a team captain after the Bears traded Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn. I think he was worthy of that. So type 4 in the comment section below if you want to show Bojack some love, because this injury setback is certainly a bummer. You look at how he's been playing this year, leads the team in tackles now after Roquan left, 4 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles. He had kind of added that peanut punch to his game, which has been emphasized by this coaching staff as well. He got back to creating turnovers, which is something he did in 2018 and 2019, but did not do the last couple of seasons. And if you're asking me right now, because I already know I'm going to get some questions, well, could they cut Eddie Jackson and save some money? I want Eddie back next year. I want him to be a part of this football team in 2023. I think he's a winning piece. I think the goal next year for this team should be to make the playoffs, and I think he's a guy that can help you do that. I think the pairing of him and Jaquan Brisker for at least a couple more years can be a very, very good pairing. He's got 2 years left on his deal. If the Bears were to cut him, they'd save about $8 million, but the dead cap would be over $9 million. I think keeping him makes more sense. Maybe you restructure his contract to lower his cap hit, but I'd like to see him back. He showed me a lot. Now, obviously, depending on how the injury recovery goes will dictate a lot of that, but I'm a fan of Eddie Jackson. I like what he did, and it's clear that he emerged for a leader on this football team, and this is still going to be a young team next year. So keeping him around, I think there are a lot of benefits. Now, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for nonstop Bears updates and videos all season long. Hit that subscribe button here on Bears Now if you want to stay in the loop. Now, real quick, looking at the Bears depth chart here, I think it'll be DeAndre Houston-Carson. Brisker's in the concussion protocol. Hopefully he returns this week. Maybe it's an opportunity to see a guy like Elijah Hicks out there some. Maybe we get to see the 7th-round rookie, as I think, the rest of the season could be some opportunities to evaluate certain players if you are the Bears coaching staff. But Eddie Jackson being out is certainly a bummer. Maybe that creates, opportunities for young guys, like I said, for the rest of this year as you are a 3-9 team, but it is definitely a bummer for him that he is out. Now, today's show is sponsored by RexMD. If you go to rexmd.com/chat, you can get a hell of a deal off of prescripted Viagra and Cialis very, very easily. You can do it all online. RexMD is FDA approved, the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They have sponsored this episode to help you always be prepared. RexMD has made it simple and easy and cost-effective, that's the key, to help all men out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. If you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, it's going to hit most of us at some point in life, and RexMD is here to help you out. You can get generic branded brands for erectile dysfunction, Viagra, Cialis, very easily. It's online. The prescription, they deliver it straight to your door. No waiting rooms, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, none of that insurance and copay necessary. You are good to go. You can save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive deal. You got to go to our link, rexmd.com/chat. That is rexmd.com/chat. You get it in the mail, you open this, and you're like, yes, I'm ready to go tonight, and you're going to be in good shape. So go to rexmd.com/chat. Get 90% off, only pay $2 per dosage. That link is in the description and the comments of this video. Let's talk more injuries for the Bears because there are a lot of them. So Darnell Mooney is going to IR soon. Eddie Jackson, I expect the same. Obviously, we'll talk Justin Fields in a little bit. He's still dealing with that shoulder injury, but Larry Borum, ankle injury. Riley Reef, shoulder injury. Chase Claypool's day-to-day. St. Brown is day-to-day. Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon and Sterling Weatherford in the concussion protocol as well. The injuries are starting to pile up for a team that actually was pretty healthy for most of this year, but the last couple of weeks it's really kind of started to cater just a little bit. So we will see how that plays out the next couple of weeks, but this is already a thin roster. I mean, it could get ugly down the stretch of this season. That is just a fact. Now, with injury comes opportunity. Could Alex Leatherwood be a beneficiary here? Should he start at right tackle, or could he by default, as Larry Borum and Riley Reef are banged up right now? Eberflus did say that Leatherwood is an option to play at right tackle. Let me just take the option out of it. If this is me, I am starting Alex Leatherwood at right tackle for a couple of reasons. One, you claimed him off waivers and took on his first-round salary for a reason. You think there's something there. You think he can be a piece potentially moving forward. You're 3-9. Why not start evaluating, right? And two, Larry Borum's had opportunities. He started the first, 6-7 games of the year, goes into the concussion protocol. Riley Reef steps in there, and they stuck with Reef after that. Now Reef and Borum are banged up, but let's say one or even both of those guys could play this week. Give Leatherwood an opportunity. Let's see what he can do. Reef is not a long-term solution. I think for, a Band-Aid this year, he's been fine. Borum was terrible when he came in on Sunday before he got nicked up. He wasn't very good before he got injured. It's time to evaluate certain guys. I think Leatherwood is a player that is worth evaluating the rest of the season. And hell, I would evaluate one or either him or even Borum at guard as well. I don't want to take Tevin Jenkins out, but maybe take Cody Whitehair out, especially if Justin Fields is out and isn't playing now. If he's out there, you want to play the best lineman. I get all that and protect him, but look, I don't want to make Nathan Peterman or Trevor Siemian a sacrificial lamb, but if that means evaluating young offensive linemen, hell, Ja'Tyre Carter, he's been inactive all season. Let's see what he can do on an NFL game day. It is time to evaluate young players. You're 3-9. And that is a way you can kind of artificially tank. Playing young guys over vets, even though the vets could help you win, it's evaluation season. You're 3-9. Let's see what some of these guys can be and see if they could potentially be pieces for the future. Should Alex Leatherwood start at right tackle? I absolutely think he should. At least one game here. See how he does. Type S for start, B for backup. These guys being nicked up is a perfect opportunity to evaluate where he's at. So type S for start or type B if you think he'll be a backup. Now, obviously, we also want to know what's going to happen with Justin Fields. Will he play against the Packers this week? All things equal, I would like to see him play, and I would like to see the Bears beat the Packers. I would, even though I think losing is okay right now because it helps your draft positioning. But I'll just be honest. I don't see it, man. I just don't see him playing this week. He wasn't ready last week. What's going to change in a week? I don't know. I don't see it being that likely. We're talking about a separated left shoulder with ligament damage. I know it's his non-throwing shoulder, and if it was a must-win game, I fully expect him to be out there. But why risk it? I just don't see him playing. You look at the remaining schedule, and it is a bummer that the schedule has broken down this way because I would like to see him against some of these big-time opponents, Philadelphia, Buffalo, and maybe that'll happen after the bye week. You got Detroit and Minnesota in there as well. I do really wish this Packers game was after the bye, though, because I do think there will be a point where Fields could play. I just don't think it'll be this week. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But I do wish the Packers game was after the bye week because one of my main goals coming into this year was for the Bears to beat the Packers at least once. And if Fields doesn't play Sunday, even if Rodgers is out, I don't see it happening. Like the defense is just too bad. I don't see Chicago beating Green Bay without Justin Fields, but you got to protect this guy. I mean, if there is a risk of further injury, you don't play him. It's very simple. I'm not risking it for a 3-9 football team just because you want to beat the Packers. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, if the Packers come into Soldier Field and dominate the Bears, that's not going to be fun to watch. But you know what would be less fun to watch? Justin Fields playing through an injury and then getting further injured. That is not what you want. I have seen enough this year. I've gotten enough of an evaluation where even if he doesn't take another snap this year, he is the guy moving forward at least for next year, if not beyond. I would say probably likelihood beyond next year, but that's just where I'm at with things. Of course, playing, if he can play, that's a good thing. He gets more experience, more reps, but I'm not risking injury with him. What do you guys think? Will Justin Fields play this week? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Do you guys think that he plays against the Packers on Sunday? I'm leaning no, but we'll find out more on Wednesday when Eberflus and Fields speak to the media. All right, subscribe to the channel because we're going to continue to bring you guys videos every single day. Also, get the FGBs going in the comments because it is Packers week, and hey, it's still FGB City here at Bears Now, so go ahead and make that happen. Hit that sub button. We'll have updates on Fields and everything else throughout this week.